Hello and welcome to the Batesville webinar today. Thanks for attending. We have a great attendance today. Today we're going to talk about funeral financing, how to offer better payment options from your website. First things first though, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. So can you guys raise your hand or somebody raise their hand so I know that you guys can hear me? Okay, perfect, awesome. Again, welcome to the webinar. We're going to go over the agenda and of what we're going to cover. So we're going to do some introductions. We do have a guest speaker on here. We're going to talk about technology consumer expectations. We're going to talk about Batesville Technology Solutions. Then we'll get into the Lending USA presentation, which you guys joined for today. And then we'll go over Q&A. So we will answer all the questions at the end of the webinar. There is a little box in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. You can type in messages at any time, and then we can answer those at the end of the webinar. Hello again, welcome. My name is Juliana Wendorf. I am the adoption manager here at Batesville with the technology here with the website program. And then we have, as a guest speaker, we have Elaine from Lending USA.
Hello, everybody.
All right, so what do consumers expect from technology? This is not anything new for families from a technology standpoint. So this is in their everyday lives. Especially right now with the COVID-19, technology is more important than it has ever been, especially for you guys to reach out to your families, to get those arrangement processes and with the services. So this really hasn't changed, but there is a high demand from your families, and we want to make sure as Batesville is offering the right technology programs for you to be able to be successful with your business as well as with your families selecting products and services. So having said that, how do we look technology through a different lens? Batesville is investing in solutions in our technology programs to better your business to serve your families. We have lots and lots of different technology offerings that integrate into each other. Obviously, we have our Batesville website program, which integrates into a lot of our other programs here at Batesville. We have Meaningful Selections where you can digitally show caskets online. So if you need to show caskets digitally to your families, you can do that through Meaningful Selections. We also have a Bridges app that helps you with the arrangement process. So you can get all that pertinent information ahead of time before the family comes in, especially right now, since the family can't meet face-to-face sometimes, the Bridges app might help bridge that gap. We have online ordering, we have Batesville.com, we have management software, so there's a lot of different technology programs that we offer here at Batesville. Having said that, we are here to talk about our Batesville websites and our partnerships. So with our Batesville websites, we have a lot of different partnerships. We have Lending USA, which we're going to talk about today. We have lots of other different partnerships with our Batesville website. Aftercare, which you can send cards to other family members or the loved ones. We also have our floral program where you can work with your local florist and have that on your website. Tukios, where you can create memorial videos. We also have legacy.com. We have My Tribute Gift and Our Tribute Fund. So lots of different integrations that come with our Batesville website, but today we're really going to focus on the Lending USA. And from here, I'm going to hand it over to Elaine.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I want to say as well that all the partnerships that you guys have linked up with the integrations, I want to say they're always been ahead of the curve with offering everything that they can to partners. So it's exciting that Lending USA is a part of that mix. I myself have a special place for Batesville in my heart because the funeral home that I used to work for, we had the most amazing Batesville rep. So, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on the webinar, I mean it. But You guys have always been able to offer the best of the best to everyone. So thank you so much for having us today. So, who are we? Who is Lending USA? A lot of you have probably seen us in the space the last couple years. We're very proud to have made a mark, in the profession. Let me get over to the next slide here. I don't know if you can click it for me. It's not letting me. Here we go. So, Lending USA, we are the number one funeral financing solution for funeral homes. So, we offer an at need financing option for our partners, which I know is very new for the funeral profession. I know all of us are very familiar with pre-need, insurance processing, but we are an at need financing option. We are exclusively endorsed by the NFDA and 12 of the largest state associations across the United States, and we're currently in over 3,200 funeral homes nationwide. So what our goal is to be able to do with our product is enhance services. Let me get to the next slide. For some reason, it's not helping me click here. Okay, so our goal is we want to be able to enhance the services a funeral home can offer their families, help families with payment options, which more and more are looking for nowadays, and also just reduce any accounts receivables that a lot of funeral homes encounter, especially more recently. I think a lot of them are kind of seeing that on the rise for themselves. Um, because we are such a new option, the question is, what is funeral financing? And I like to say, we're very similar to what a pre-need offers. What does a pre-need do? It helps the family pick the options that they really want, and then you calculate a small monthly payment that they can chip away at that balance with. So that's what we are. Um, I think some of the most popular questions that almost any funeral director can relate to, no matter where you're located, is something that you see on this screen. And I always just kind of pick out, two or three, and I can almost bet money on it that someone's going to say, yes, I've encountered that. And just to kind of name a few. So if you ever ask a funeral home employee, have you ever had a family that had an unexpected loss? The more than likely they're going to say yes. Have you ever had a family who maybe have the funds, but everything is tied up in the estate? And the probate's going to take months. They can't have access to those funds until they get that death certificate in. So things like this will unfortunately cause a family to have to settle for less than what they really want. So how can we help, with that kind of solution? Let's see, next slide here. So currently, a funeral home is most commonly going to deal with maybe a family who has a pre-need, right? Which is great. You have somebody who's pre-planned. You pull that file once the person passes, you call in, you put in the claim, you review everything with the family. But sometimes what happens is that pre-need may not cover the full cost of services, right? I think a lot of the time they encounter, those extra third-party fees that they're going to have to pay out of pocket. Or, God forbid, that policy lapsed. Mom and dad made two payments and that's it. So now the family's not going to be able to honor that full pre-need. We also get a scenario where a family is relying on insurance, and maybe it didn't pan out where it was assignable. And now what are they going to do? I think it's probably one of the most heartbreaking things I've dealt with as a funeral professional, where I had to sit across from a family and tell them, I'm sorry, the policy is not assignable, or we can't take this. And then also just credit cards, having a family come in, and you see it often where they're paying with multiple credit cards, just trying to take care of that bill. So, when they have to do that, that affects them as well, just financially. It affects their debt to income, what's available now for credit, what are they going to rely on for emergencies, things like that. So these are the most common forms of payment that funeral professionals deal with today. So I think with funeral financing, we can see it as a tool for, both families who are prepared financially and then families who are not. And I think we see it so often where, it's no one can ever be as prepared as they should be. especially with right now with dealing with this pandemic. You see so many different scenarios and so much uncertainty. So families are looking for some flexibility. They're looking for a monthly payment option. They're looking for just some time to kind of get through things and sort affairs. So, this could be an answer for those families, or it could be just a supplement to other funds. Maybe they have a certain amount on their credit card, but you need to take care of the balance. Use this option. We are an online option, which is great because I know that you mentioned, Julianne, earlier, families are looking for it's nothing new in their day to day. Everyone's relying on the cell phone to look up stuff or they're on their computer shopping. And that's what our platform is. We're an online platform that makes things so easy for a family to be able to apply. And what's great about us is we have that partnership with Batesville where if a family's on your website, they go directly to your website off a small banner and they can apply in private from the comfort of their home. So it's very fast, very simple. We offer a couple affordable monthly payment options with two different terms, 36 or 60 months. And let's see. And nowadays what families are dealing with just with finances, this I think is always kind of mind blowing for a lot of people, but these are the true facts. 58% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings, and 32% have zero. So that's a big deal. 5 out of 10 people don't even have over $1,000 in savings. So when you have a family that's encountered, losing a loved one and now they're financially responsible, it could be a big blow for them. It's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and they're thinking, gosh, how am I going to come up with this? Or how am I going to pay for this? So then you get the family that's going to want to settle for direct cremation. And now that's also affecting your business, and the revenue. So think of this as a tool that you can use to help enhance the services for your business and also help the families that are looking for a low monthly payment option. And look at the second stat, 70% of Americans with credit card debt admit that they can't pay it off in a year. So they need to be able to have something flexible to chip away at. And everything's financed. You see computers, furniture, weddings, veterinary care. There's so many options that offer a low monthly payment. And on the at need side, we haven't seen that for years. So this is why we're a new option. We're an option people are looking for, and we're a low monthly payment on the at need side. So why we're preferred by funeral homes. We're a custom tailored solution for funeral homes. What's great about this again is that custom option of being able to choose the website banner that they want to add to their website that gives families the opportunity to go there, apply in private, and just be able to have a pre-approval that's attached to the funeral home they're selecting. That's a big deal, and it's also been a big resource for a lot of our partners. And we want to help you secure payment because we know that once the funeral comes and it's gone, trying to contact the family after the fact to collect payment in full, that could be really hard, and then you never want to have to deal with the collections option, right? That could be very difficult. um, what's great about our platform, because we're an online option, we're available 24/7 to families. There's no business hours to when they can go to your website and have access to applying. um, you know Currently, before we have somebody partner with us, a lot of the time they say, we were dealing with local banks or credit unions before, but they're not open on weekends or they're not open on holidays. And we all know in the death care profession, there's no business hours to it either. It's 24/7, 365. And, we can't allow a family to have to wait a few days to get a decision. So this is something quick, something accessible online when your families need it. And again, we want to get you paid, and our option helps get that done for you. So why offer funeral financing? So how is this going to help my business? Why do I even need this? I think a lot of you have seen over just even the last decade, if you've been in funeral service that long, which most funeral directors have nowadays, I think a lot of you can see times are different. Things have changed. Families aren't prepared as financially as they were 10 years ago. They can't write a check in full anymore for a full burial service. They're not picking, the latest beautiful casket that they really want because they're afraid of the cost or they feel like they can't afford it. So we hear it often at Lending USA where we have a partner that gets a family who's pre-approved. And a lot of the time what was going to happen is that family was going to settle for that cremation service, nothing more. But once they see they've been approved, they've been able to upgrade to the service that they really want, which is so important. They want a nicer urn or they want to have a viewing with the cremation. And now they can afford it because this is giving them a low monthly payment option. And there's no money down with our platform. They fill out a quick application, they get pre approved, then they have a first payment with us in about 30 days and we offer them a 6-month promotion. So if they're able to pay their loan off within a 6-month window, then we erase the interest and they just pay the balance due. What we can do as well is just help those families that, again, have suffered an unexpected loss. Family has the affairs tied up in probate, or you just need that family to you need to give them some more time. They need a few weeks, a few months to figure it out. This will secure payment and to give them that comfort that everything's taken care of and they could figure out the rest later. So this is also, again, like I just mentioned earlier, it's been able to be a tool for the business to help with that revenue. I know at the funeral home that I used to work for, I remember feeling that curve of when it kind of shifted from helping families with a traditional burial. I felt like overnight became everyone wanted direct cremation, where we would even get the price shoppers calling in, what's your direct cremation cost? And you had to learn how to offer the newest options available with cremation to keep the revenue in because you also have to keep your business healthy. And the pricing is so different for a direct cremation versus a traditional burial. So as a business owner, you have a team to worry about. You have a community you're serving. So you need to be able to bring in the revenue to keep the business healthy and going. So this is a tool that's going to allow your families to get services they want, but also give you the revenue that you can, earn as a business owner for the services. So low risk to your business as well. Everyone asks, okay, wait a minute, but how is this going to work if the family doesn't pay you back? And that's a very important question because if you've ever been involved with Preneed, if somebody cancels a policy or they pass away within a certain time frame, you get a charge back on your commissions, and that can hurt. So imagine a business owner being fronted thousands of dollars and then somebody defaults. So with our partnership, we assume the risk and we take on if somebody is, going to default, you're not even notified. You're not hit with the chargeback. You're not responsible to return the funds to Lending USA. Once you're paid in full, we deal with the family directly and we take care of, getting monthly payments. And we assume that risk of, connecting with them after the fact. If they're not able to, we deal with whatever we have to on our side, but we don't involve the funeral home. So how do funeral homes use Lending USA? So like we mentioned, technology, that's where it's at. Like it or not, you have to embrace it now. It's just the way that people are relying on keeping businesses going nowadays. And especially now with the pandemic, a lot of the funeral homes have experienced, having to follow the CDC requirements on who's allowed to come into the funeral home, how many people are allowed to. So a lot of families have turned to over the phone arrangements or Zoom arrangements online. So what's great about us is with our partnership with Batesville, we have a great website banner option where we connect together. We give them the information for our enrolled partner, and Batesville will add a simple website banner that you can just direct families there to. We also have another tool which is awesome, and it's called Merchant Search, where a family goes straight to our website. They can apply, and it will give them a directory of funeral homes around their area that offer financing. So you're partnered with us, that will also get you a family that you may have not even been expecting because families are looking online for options and they're looking for who offers financing for their at-need families. So another tool we have is an option called text to apply, which if you are able to, you send them a quick link and they can apply from a cell phone. And you have a full portal that you can access if a family's in office with you. You log in at any time, long as you have a username and password, and they can sit right there with you and apply in your funeral home and have an answer in just a few seconds. So the importance of your website. So I think one thing that I noticed right off the bat, whenever we have a brand new partner with Lending USA, one of the habits we formed is, take a look at the website before you have that first call with them to introduce yourself and let them know, you're their new point of contact and we're here to help. And what I love about the website is, everything looks just so modern, so clean, and then you have a nice bio. And that's so important to capture that when you have a family who's looking at your website, because it's also going to be a form of your identity. It's going to say, okay, this is my business. You're introducing yourself. So having a nice website is just very important. And that's how 88% of consumers are researching online buys. So the way with funeral service, families are looking for the online options, pricing, they're looking for the GPL, they're looking up your packages. All of that is online. So a lot of the time you may not even know it, but they may be doing some research about you guys before they give you a call to make that appointment or they reach out. So, show on your website that you understand the common challenges families are facing during this time. So having a banner, that's going to provide a resource and add value, for families that are searching for options. So we have some wonderful templates that Batesville has put together. And what's great about this is you have an option of selecting the style you like. You want something that's going to look nice on your website. You've taken a lot of time in working with Batesville and selecting the best template for yourself and your business. So there's that flexibility. You have a couple different samples to choose from, and it's really easy to see. So a family member fills out a quick application on that website banner. What's great about this is a website banner, as long as they have access to any electronic device, they can use it from a cell phone, a tablet, or the computer. It's a one-page application, and they have a pre-approval or a decision within just a few seconds. And we offer a free credit check. It's a soft pull on the credit. It does not harm their credit by checking to see if we can help. Once the family electronically signs the loan documents, then the funeral home receives their funds in just a few days. So we always say, it's important to offer a tool like this upfront and equal to every family you're serving. It's just a new form of payment. That's it. I know it could be scary because it's a new option, but all it is a new form of payment, right? You're just going to present it as, we take credit cards, check, cash, or there's a financing option if you're interested. And I think a big selling point to an option like this is that promotion period. So being able to let a family know, if you're pre-approved and you go forward with this option, you have 6 months to pay this off. And with that option, they pay off the loan, there's no interest on the principal within that 6-month period. So just key takeaways. How would this tool work for your business? It can help you expand your services. You're able to offer a low monthly payment option on the at-need side now, not just on the pre-need option. The at-need family walks in, you're able to provide them the service that they really want for a low monthly payment, and you're paid in full. You increase your bottom line, it's low risk to your business, and the ease of use. It's going to be accessible to your families that are looking at your website. Quick button, they click that website banner, have an application, and they have a decision in just a few seconds. So before we go into the questions, I wanted to take a quick poll. If you guys can see, there's going to be a poll that launches. Just how many of you are currently Lending USA customers? So if you could take a quick few seconds to click that, let us know, and then we'll get into the Q&A. All right, so let's get into the questions. Um, Julianne, are you gonna jump in with this part too?
All right. Yep. Yeah. So there's been a lot of questions come in. So thank you, everybody. As we're going through the questions, going ahead and please type them in if you have something else that come up or something sparks as we're talking through some of these questions. So again, thank you, everybody, for attending. So the first question, Elaine, is can a family member apply for a loan?
That's a great question. So we actually can have anybody in the family apply. So I know when it comes to making funeral arrangements, you have to have the next of kin be the one to sign everything, right? But when it comes to the financing, let's say the next of kin applies and they don't qualify. Anybody else in the family can help. It could even be a friend, extended friend or family member, but you can submit as many applications as needed to help with the expenses.
Awesome. Okay, so we have lots of questions coming in. How will this work with our current Batesville website? So I'll take that.
All right.
We do have some banners and we do have some CTAs that you can put on your website. Um, and then how it works is you guys will have a PIN number that you get from Lending USA, and we'll tie that into the back end. So just really on your website, you just tell us if you want a banner or a CTA, and then we already link that in with the Lending USA, and then it'll automatically go once you click on that, it'll automatically pop up to the Lending USA where it needs to go.
And what's to kind of add on to that, what's great about that as well is when a family applies on your website banner, then on the Lending USA side, we're alerted that it's attached to your business because of that special code. So you have like a customer ID with us, and that's how we know it belongs to your business. So if a family were to call into Lending USA and say, I just applied on the website banner, we'll automatically see the name of your business. So we'll be able to, speak to the customer and letting them know, okay, yes, we work with this funeral home, and then that's how we know to contact you as well.
Awesome. Okay. Next question. What is the application fee, and does the funeral home get a commission for doing all the work?
Oh, one thing I can say is I don't know if funeral home employees are ever paid enough. I wish we could give commission. We don't have commission. So what happens is when a family applies, we do have what we call an origination fee, which is 8% of the total. So it's pretty much $80 per $1,000, and it's a processing fee that we charge. So that would be included in the loan. When a family is pre-approved, they're given a breakdown of the monthly payment options available, and it includes the origination fee, their interest. It gives them what they call an APR. So it shows all of that pre-calculated for them. So once they're selecting the monthly payment they're comfortable with, that's already calculated for them in the loan.
Okay. Um, can this financing also be used for purchasing a pre-need funeral?
So on the pre-need side, I always say I think we definitely have a lot of options out there when it comes to pre-need, right? And I think it's state specific too. Some have insurance companies, some have a trust, right? So we're just strictly for the at-need side. What we can do is help with any cemetery arrangements as well. So if family wants to pre-purchase a plot or maybe a headstone, we can help on that side. But when it comes to, funeral home, if you have a pre-need company, we don't compete with that. It's just, and what's interesting is the monthly payments are almost identical. They're only a few dollars apart. And the reason I know that is because I used to write for a pre-need company and I have the app. So I remember out of curiosity, kind of playing with the numbers, and I was like, okay, that's how I know we're so similar to a pre-need option, but we're on the at-need side.
Okay. Can more than one person apply for
Yes.
just a portion of the amount due? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that this actually happens very often where we get a family. Let's say, give an example. We have three siblings that are making arrangements. They get the final bill total and they want to split the cost. That happens often where we get multiple approvals and we same direct deposit to the business.
All right. Um, After 6 months, what is the average APR? So
So the
I'll let
AP,
you answer that. There's 3 questions in one.
okay. So the APR is going to be pre-calculated for them from the beginning, right? So it's going to depend on their credit standing. So they have so there's two different kinds of platforms, right? So with Lending USA, they're paying their interest from day one. So let's say it's month 5 and they call in and they say, okay, you know what? I want to pay this off in full. Then what we're going to say is, okay, so in the last 5 months, this is how much you've paid in interest. That's going to be refunded back to you. And so it's not like we're holding back the interest and then all of a sudden it's going to be piled onto them if they don't meet the promotion period. They're paying it from the very beginning, and the APR is going to depend on what they've been approved for and their credit standing.
And then how and when does the funeral home receive the funds?
So we definitely strive to get payment to the business as soon as possible. We know how important it is, especially when services have already been scheduled. So our typical turnaround time is 3 to 5 business days, and we do this with direct deposit. So you don't have to wait for a check to be mailed. It goes straight into your bank account.
Okay. Um, there's a lot of question about payment. Um, I'm trying to put them all together.
Sure.
Um,
About payments?
so one of them says, what is the breakdown monthly payment for $10,000, for example?
Let me pull up my payment calculator here. So if we were to do a monthly payment for 36 or 60 months, let's see here. Making me pull up my math skills here. Let's see. I wanted to grab one of our current brochures to kind of give a better visual here. So let's go. Can we get to the next question and then we'll come back to that one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So again, about the fee, there's a lot of questions about the fee as well. So can you kind of explain a little more about the fee
Would it be maybe to the
portion?
business? Like what we charge the
Yeah,
business?
to the funeral home. Yeah.
Okay. So we as a platform, we don't have anything we charge the business monthly. We don't charge anything to enroll with us. We don't charge you annually. You're never hit with a, fee to be a part of our membership or partnership. So the only fee we ever charge, if it applies, is when we take on a higher risk borrower. So people are based off of tiers of credit, right? So there's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So whenever somebody falls into tier 1 or tier 2, that's when we pay the business 100%. You have no fees at all. So let's say it's $1,000 loan, we're paying you $1,000. If it's ever a scenario where they fell into tier 3, it's a higher risk bracket for us, then that's in a scenario we're going to pay 93% or 94% if they're part of the NFDA or an endorsed state association that we've partnered with. So that's the only time a fee applies. And like I mentioned earlier, what I always recommend is financing service fees and merchandise, because I know cash advances are always added onto a funeral contract, but it's nothing that your business is making any profit on. So let's say you get a scenario where you get paid 94%. That 6% you're writing off. So if it's just on your fees and merchandise, it's not on the contract as a whole. So I hope that makes sense. If you need more clarification, contact me and I'll explain it again. But um, only time a fee applies is if it's a higher risk borrower. And remember, keep in mind, there's no recourse to your business. So let's say we take on this high risk borrower and then they never even make one payment. You're not hit with that charge back. You're not responsible to return the monies back to Lending USA. You've been paid in full, and that's it. You're not notified of the default.
Okay. I know there's lots and lots of questions coming in. We'll answer one more, and then
Okay.
if there's questions out here, which there are that we haven't had the chance to answer, Elaine, do you mind reaching out to some of these customers
Oh, please,
and
I would love
answering
to.
those questions for them?
Definitely.
We will take one more though. It says, how can we do the application in an arrangement conference room, by paper or online or by both?
Oh, that's a great question. So, we actually don't have paper applications. It's all an online platform. So, a lot of our partners have just kind of built us into the arrangement process. So, we've partnered with Osiris Software, who we're integrated with. So, let's say during the arrangement process, you have your laptop there, you're in your software. There's a quick button that you click, and it gives your families that application online. If you're not partnered with Osiris, it's okay. When you partner with Lending USA, we create a customized portal for your business that you can access from any electronic device you have in your business. But you need to be able to have that access for the family so that they can apply, or you just send them to your website. Long as you have your Batesville website banner up, they can apply on their own from their cell phone. They could even apply before coming into your business. Or they just go to lendingusa.com.
I'm going to tag on to that. So if a family decides to do that and they go through the website, how is the funeral home notified, that they used it and have been
Mhm.
approved?
So what's great about the portal that we create for the business is you're going to have a dashboard, and it keeps track of all the transactions that have been ran through your banner, in person. You have a dashboard that shows you families that have been approved, families that were declined, loans that we funded you. But when somebody first applies and is pre-approved, there's an email notification that's sent to the business to let them know, you got a pre-approval for this amount. There are times where a family applies online, they choose their funeral home, and then they call Lending USA for help because they're saying, oh, I just need a little assistance in walking through this application. How do I finalize? So our team will gladly help the family, and then we call the funeral home to notify them. Just so you know, we have a family that's been approved. Is it okay if we finalize for you, or do you want them to go into the funeral home and sign with you there? So we keep that partnership, open with that communication.
Okay, great. Um, Again, guys, I'm sorry. I know there's been a lot of great feedback from everybody, and we really appreciate it. We're over time, so I want to kind of be respectful of your time as well. We'll have Elaine have all these questions, and if there's any that we haven't answered, she can reach out to you, and you can get your answer or your questions answered. So again, thank you